Daniel, a journalist, traveled to a forgotten mining town deep in the mountains. Decades ago, the town burned in a sudden fire, killing nearly everyone. Few ruins remained, but locals whispered about voices that lingered in the ash. Daniel came to write a feature on ghost towns, but he wasn't prepared for what still lived there. The road ended at a rusted sign, Ashwood, founded 1871. Beyond it, the charred skeletons of houses leaned against one another like broken teeth. As Daniel explored, his boots crunched through blackened soil. The air smelled faintly of smoke. Though the fire had been extinguished years ago, he set up his recorder for notes. That's when he caught it, the faint sound of whispering buried in the wind. He replayed the audio. It was clear, a woman's voice saying, "Don't forget us." But around him, the ruins stood silent. On the edge of town, Daniel discovered a crumbling wooden chapel, its bell cracked and hanging crooked. Inside, charred pews lined the hall, and soot-stained walls carried strange carvings, circles, spirals, and symbols unfamiliar to him. At the altar, a blackened Bible lay open, its pages fused together. Scratched into the wood beside it were the words, "They kept us here." Near the chapel, he found the remains of a collapsed house. In the rubble was a locked metal box. Breaking it open, he discovered a half-burnt journal. The last entry was shaky, written in ash-stained ink. The fire wasn't an accident. They wanted to keep it below. Daniel felt a chill. What was it? As night fell, Daniel set up camp in the town square. The wind grew heavier, carrying the faint smell of burning flesh. In the flicker of his lantern, he noticed faint figures in the distance, smoke-colored silhouettes standing still, watching. He called out, but they dissolved into the fog. The whispers grew louder that night, circling his tent like a chant. The next day, following broken pathways, Daniel discovered a collapsed mine entrance hidden behind dead trees. Miners had once dug deep here. The journal mentioned it. "We found something beneath the rock." It whispered, it promised. The wooden beams still smelled of fire. Against all reason, Daniel crawled inside with his lantern. The air was thick and heavy, pressing against his lungs. Inside the mine, the walls glistened with strange black residue, pulsing faintly like veins. The deeper he went, the louder the whispers became. Sometimes they sounded like his own voice, sometimes like his mother's. He found claw marks on the stone, deep gouges as if people had tried to escape. Then he saw it, skeletal remains, dozens of them, fused into the walls, their mouths open as if still screaming. The tunnel opened into a vast underground chamber. The ground was layered with thick ash, ankle deep. In the center stood a circle of burned wooden posts, each holding shackles. Around them were more symbols carved into the stone. The whispers swelled until they became words. "Free us." But mixed in, another voice growled, "Stay." Daniel felt something move beneath the ash. The ash shifted violently. A shape began to rise, a figure stitched from smoke, ash, and bone. It had no face, only a hollow void where its head should be. The voices now screamed in unison. Daniel dropped his recorder, watching in horror as the entity stretched taller, its limbs bending in impossible angles. It spoke through 100 mouths. "We are hunger." Daniel ran, scrambling through the tunnels. The whispers pursued him, growing into a deafening chorus. Shadows darted along the walls, reaching for him with black hands. His lantern flickered, nearly extinguished. When he finally emerged from the mine, dawn was breaking, but the town was not the same. The houses stood whole again, no longer ruins, smoke curling gently from chimneys. People walked the streets, yet their skin was gray, their eyes dark hollows. They moved mechanically, repeating the same actions, fetching water, tending fires, ringing the cracked chapel bell. No one acknowledged Daniel. He realized he wasn't in his own time anymore, or worse, he wasn't in the living world. A little girl tugged his sleeve, whispering, "You came too late. Now you stay." Daniel tried to run back to his car, but the road was gone. Only endless forest and ash stretched out. He opened his recorder one last time, his voice shaking. "If someone finds this, don't come to Ashwood. They're still here, and they want more." The whispers rose again, drowning his voice. The recording cut with a final scream. Days later, hikers found Daniel's abandoned equipment near the ruins. His recorder played back only whispers, hundreds of them, chanting his name.